Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages. It is Saturday, October 7th, 2023, and you are locked in right here on Mild's Culture Plate. We have an interesting show for you today. Going to be talking about quite a few stories that are out there. And you may be wondering what's up with the title of the stream. Well, I think it's pretty obvious. The entire internet right now is talking about the tragedies that are currently occurring and have been occurring since early this morning in Israel. Starting with, rockets and such from the Gaza Strip, and then continuing various atrocities. And even though the title says I'm not going to talk about it, you can't not mention, at least in passing, that this is these are crazy times. And like the meme before I went live said, we're going to wind up paying for it. And that's really not only in US dollars, but I think politically America is headed down a dangerous path of conversations about wars and proxy wars and so forth. But again, I don't want to talk about it. That's the last thing I want to talk about today. There are so many other news stories. There are good things, bad things, fun things. The internet is a wonderful place. First off, the main thing I would like to talk about is down in the description is a link to my Twitch channel. I'm trying to coax people into watching The Batman with me. A lot of people don't like my review of The Batman. I did a video review about a year ago on my channel. But a lot of people didn't like my review. They kind of criticized me a little bit. So I figured, what greater chance than to give people a chance to watch it with me so I could point out what I didn't like about it. And they could, tell me whether I'm wrong or not in real time as we're watching the movie. So, I figured I would roast The Batman 3-hour movie. Look, if people don't show up, I might not make it the whole way. But as for now, I'm hoping people show up. I'm hoping people watch the movie with me. The link is down in the description of this video, the link to my Twitch channel. So please join me for that. It's going to occur right after this stream. So as soon as I'm done with this show, I'm going to go upstairs, grab some food, grab a beverage, go to the bathroom. I'm going to come back down, start the Twitch rolling. So just keep your eye out for it once this is over with. Keep following that Twitch link, and we'll get a watch party going. If you're a Amazon Prime member, you can kind of automatically watch it. Even if you're not an Amazon Prime member, I think if you're a HBO Max member, like, I'm willing to give you the timestamp of wherever I'm at. You could watch it on HBO Max, or if you have the DVD at home. Definitely join me for the watch of The Batman here in a little bit after this show. Going to kind of kick off like a launch of my Twitch channel with that. So as far as news stories today, I'm going to start off with a few stories that I should have covered on my last show, but I was completely drunk. I was a little too drunk to remember to cover a few of these. So I do want to cover a couple of them in passing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these next couple stories, but we will start. No, I'm not going to do that one just yet. First, I want to talk a little bit about the Trevor Bauer situation. I'm sure you've heard about it by now. Baseball player Trevor Bauer was falsely and I say that now with confidence, falsely accused of, I guess you'd say, violent, non-consensual violence during sex. Um, and it cost him his baseball career. And now Lindsey Hill, the accuser, has now settled out of court. And I just wanted to briefly touch on this for just a minute because, I know a lot of people have had the exact same take, but I definitely want to take the time to echo on my channel that accusations have to be followed up with something more than posts on the internet and anonymous claims in the media. And now we have actually figured out who this person is, what exactly they did, how they doctored up photos, and how they manufactured a non-consensual relationship with a very successful man in order to try to extract money from him. And it's an unfortunate fact of today's society that these kinds of things happen. Anyway, so yeah, there's that news story. But yeah, I wanted to cover this as well. This drunken dental receptionist sexually assaulted a boy 13 years old in a park before exposing herself. Now, again, a lot of people have already covered this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But yes, this young lady here, this is the catfish photo. This is what she looks like in real life. Look, she's not ugly, but I don't think it matters if she's ugly or not. If she's trying to grope and have sex with 13-year-old boys, she got a slap on the wrist. So yeah, she was on white wine. She said later, "Oh my God, I do not recall anything." She faced 2 years in jail. After she faced 2 years in jail, she was ordered to wear an electronic sobriety tag for 120 days and will have to complete 35 rehabilitation activity days and was told to sign the sex offender registry for 10 years. But yeah, the victim was seated on a bench when the defendant approached him. She was unknown to him, clearly intoxicated. She sat between the two boys, began to touch and rub his genitals in the upper area of his thigh. She said she was going to ride him till morning, and then she exposed her genitals and buttocks before passing out. They took a video of the scene, went home and told his mother, who contacted police. The officers attended the scene, found her bank card and phone, but she had left the area. But she was later arrested and said, "I don't recall." By the way, I just noticed we got Sanglent86 in the chat saying hello. If you're in the chat, say hello. I'll give you a toast. I still owe Sanglent. I mean, he said I don't owe him, but I'm going to do it anyway. I still owe Sanglent a toast from Saturday or from Wednesday. So cheers to Sanglent. And cheers from Wednesday. Got that soul rot starting, though. Yeah. Okay, so there was that. Let's see. What's the next? The next news story. I'm not going to bring up anything on screen. So let me go ahead and take this down. The next news story is... come on. What the hell? Okay, there it goes. Out of California, Bill AB 665 has passed the California legislature and has been signed by the governor. AB 665 will allow youth 12 years of age or older to consent to mental health care services, including inpatient. So if you've got a child, if you're in the state of California and you have a child and they have decided, oh, I think I need to be locked up in the nut house. If your kid just thinks, hey, I think I need to be locked up in the nut house, they can go to the nut house and sign themselves in and be locked away without parental consent. without a parent being involved, without a guardian at all being involved, a child can consent to inpatient healthcare services. Got Mark over on YouTube. She could be writing me till morning, but I'm pushing 40. Hey, yo. Cheers, Mark. Well, she was 27, so I think that age difference isn't too bad. Cheers to Mark. Welcome. So, yeah, we got that news story. I mean, again, I'm not going to go further in detail of that. But we do have three main stories I do want to cover. Here's the first one. Uh-oh. Whoop. I clicked the wrong button. As always. A man seeking Wisconsin's governor is from the AP. A man seeking Wisconsin's governor illegally brought guns to the state capitol twice in one day. A man illegally brought a loaded handgun into the Wisconsin Capitol demanding to see Governor Tony Evers and returned at night with an assault rifle after posting bail, police said Thursday. Now, if here's this next paragraph, I was like, well, why haven't we heard about this from gun grabber groups? And this is why. The man who was shirtless and had a holstered handgun approached the governor's office on the first floor of the Capitol around 2 p.m. Wednesday, State Department of Administration spokesperson Tatiana Warwick said. The 43-year-old man said, quote, he would not leave until he saw Governor Evers so he could talk about, quote, domestic abuse toward men. Capitol Police said in a bulletin sent to lawmakers and their staffs. Okay, so you would think, okay, well, this might be a crazy right-winger going after a Democrat governor, you know, whatever, and that, but no, the gun grabbers don't want to talk about it because here we go. Domestic abuse toward men is what he wanted to discuss with the governor. Evers was not at the building at the time, Warwick said. Capitol police officer sits blah, 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 blah. A Capitol police officer sits at a desk outside of a suite of rooms that includes the governor's office, conference room, and offices for the AG. The man was taken into custody for openly carrying a firearm in the Capitol, which is against the law, Warwick said. Weapons can be brought into the Capitol if they are concealed and the person has a valid permit. The man arrested did not have a concealed carry permit, Warwick said. The man posted cell phone video of his arrest on his Facebook page, which one of his Facebook friends downloaded and provided to AP. In the footage, the man tells police as they speak to him outside the governor's office that he is armed to defend myself from people who he says the police won't protect him from. I am not a threat, the man tells police. His dog is with him. Is the video on here? No. I'm not seeing the video embedded, which is weird. There's these two gaps. I'm not seeing them loading. Hope it's not just my computer. When told by officers it's illegal for him to openly carry a firearm in the Capitol, the man says, I will admit that I broke the law. Mark on YouTube says that man is a hero. In fact, here, let me learn how to use the show button here. Warwick said she was not aware of the video, couldn't comment on it. The man was booked into the Dane County Jail, but later posted bail. He then returned outside the Capitol shortly before 9 p.m., 3 hours after the building closed, with a loaded assault-style rifle and collapsible police baton in his backpack, Warwick said. He again demanded to see the governor and was taken into custody. The man said he did not own a vehicle, and it is likely he has access to a large amount of weapons, and he is comfortable using them, police said in a bulletin sent to Capitol workers. Capitol Police named the suspect, but court records show that no charges had been filed as of late Thursday afternoon. The AP normally does not name suspects until they are charged, and efforts are made to get comments from them, their lawyer, or another representative. Madison police reported Thursday that the man was taken into protective custody and taken to the hospital. Protective custody. Wow. He could not be reached by the AP, and a spokesperson for the police department did not return an email seeking additional details. A spokesman for the public defender's office could not disclose on Thursday whether the public defender had been assigned to the alleged gunman, and an attorney who represented him in a previous case did not immediately return voicemails asking whether they were representing him. Members of the man's family and prior employers also did not respond to voicemails. In a podcast Tuesday, a man who identified himself with the same name and birth date as the alleged gunman said he was in Madison, and in a speech filled with profanity said he would burn down the system, quote, with love because it's corrupt. The man complained about how he'd been treated by the courts and spoke about illegally selling weapons, working in gun stores with explosives and machine guns, attempting suicide, and dealing with PTSD. He also said he wanted to keep living. Capitol Police took control of the situation, and so it's over, Evers told reporters Thursday. He declined to comment on what security changes may be enacted for him or the Capitol building. I never ever talk about what my security detail does or what they're planning on doing. But anytime something like this happens, obviously, wink, wink, they reevaluate. The incident is just the latest in a series of violent threats against public officials. Here we go. And of course, they're going to mention the Whitmer kidnapping plot down here. Evers, a Democrat, was on a hit list of gunmen suspected of fatally shooting a retired county judge at his Wisconsin home in 22. Others on that list included Gretchen Whitmer and Mitch McConnell. Whitmer was the target of a fake kidnapping plot in 2020. Warwick said no immediate changes to security in the Capitol or for the governor were planned. The public has free access to the Capitol daily from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. There are no metal detectors. Well, thank you, AP. Thank you, AP, for telling the public that there are no metal detectors in the Wisconsin Capitol building. Holy crap. Come on. Come on, AP. That's like saying, you know you want to, right? You know you want to. They're goading someone into doing it. They're goading into someone into doing it. Jeez. Oh, frick. Anyway, okay. So let's go to the next story. Let's go to this next story. Pharmacy accidentally gives abortion pills to patient undergoing IVF. They just killed my babies. Let's watch the video first here. This is from the New York Post, and this looks actually like from CBS 8, from wherever this was.
Thing I read was it's used for abortions. So everything that I worked hard for, at this point, it was just like over. I put my life in CBS's hands, and they gave me something that could have possibly taken my life away, but it didn't. It took my baby's life away.
In this emotional KOAS interview, a Nevada mother of 4 opened up about her 2019 pregnancy ordeal. Tamika Thomas, who was undergoing IVF and just had embryos planted, was mistakenly given abortion pills by her local CVS pharmacy. Misoprostol is a stomach ulcer drug that also causes cervical softening. Oh, let me reread that. Oh, man, that was short. Dilation and uterine contractions in women. Yes, was fined $10,000 for the grave mistake and apologized to Thomas, who said, adding this in a statement. Prescription errors are very rare, but if one does occur, we take steps to learn from it in order to continuously improve quality and patient safety. One quick note. Part of the story on Israel. One of YouTube's own DUI guy had been stranded in Tel Aviv for most of the day. He was finally able to get a flight out, and according to Nick Rekieta over in his own locals chat, Nick Rekieta just said that DUI guy has just landed in Istanbul, so he is now sort of out of the conflict area. Anyway, I just wanted to provide that quick update. If anyone had been following the DUI guy story on Twitter or anywhere else, he's finally out of Israel and in Turkey. Okay, so back to this this improving quality and patient safety here. And I'm sure the news article is going to say almost the same thing this video did. They tend to, whoa, not trying to watch a motorcycle stunt. What the hell? Of course, a news article about Las Vegas. They just feed you that next. A Las Vegas woman who underwent in vitro fertilization was left heartbroken. Tamika Thomas, mother of four, previously had her fallopian tubes removed, recalls that she began cramping really bad when issued misoprostol instead of doctor-prescribed vaginal suppositories in 2019, she recently told KLAS. Started cramping really bad. My cramping went beyond that. It was extreme. It was painful, Thomas said. After taking 2 doses, the IVF patient checked the bottle she was given from the North Vegas pharmacy. The first thing I read is it's used for abortions. They just killed my baby, both my babies, because I transferred 2 embryos. It was shown that one technician misunderstood the generic name for the brand Thomas's doctor had prescribed her and entered the incorrect name into the prescription. A pharmacist failed to spot the error, and another did not counsel Thomas at the time she received the pills, according to KLAS. The error would have been caught because they would have had the medicine in their hand, and they would have said, "Oh, this is misoprostol or Cytotec. Have you taken this before?" And I would have said no. After complaining to the Nevada State Board of Pharmacy, the 2 pharmacists faced fines and provisionally lost their license, ones which can be reinstated over the next year. It is a human error, one of the pharmacists testified. It was just a human error, and I am so sorry. CVS was also fined a statute max of $10,000 for the incident. We've apologized to our patient for the prescription incident that occurred in 2019 and have cooperated with the Nevada Board of Pharmacy in this matter, CVS said to the TV station in a statement. The health and well-being of our patients is number one priority, and we have comprehensive policies and procedures in place to support that prescription safety. Prescription errors are very rare, but if one does occur, we take steps to learn from it in order to continuously improve quality and patient safety. Real quick. Sanglant86 has a good point right here. Always double check your drugs. A bad day can kill you. Now, I have 2 prescriptions currently, and they are very unique looking pills. And I feel like I would notice if they were different. But yeah, definitely double check the label. Double check that the pill looks like the pill, has the same kind of imprints and inscriptions on it. But outside of that, I mean, like this picture's just got this generic white, these generic white pills. How are you supposed to know if it's just numbers in a shape? I mean, assuming the name lines up or whatever, but yeah, you got to make sure it's all spelled right. Now, 4 years later, so this is just coming out after 4 years. The scar remains open for Thomas and her family. All I got was a sorry, the grieving mother said. It will never be good enough. All she got was a sorry. Now, the $10,000 went to the government, right? CVS got fined $10,000. That went to the government. Like, is she going to sue? I'm assuming she's got to sue, right? This has to be a lawsuit. Anyway, it's crazy. Remind me. Yep, always hit that vape when you have to, man. All right, let me go ahead and remove that. Okay, so our main story of the night, now that we're about halfway into the show, our main story of the night, I've been looking for this document everywhere on the internet. I noticed the other day there was like a tweet that just kind of hit my feed and then disappeared, telling me that Larry Sinclair had sued Ed and Brian Krasenstein. Now, if you don't know who Ed and Brian Krasenstein are, they're like left-wing Twitter pundits who tend to comment a lot on Donald Trump issues, presidential issues, national politics, and they do a lot of the spaces on Twitter. I say Twitter, it's X. They do a lot of the spaces on X, but they tend to be pretty far left wing. One of them was on the Good Logic show with Joe Neerman recently to talk about some of the Trump indictments. It was a pretty interesting show. He didn't seem as, Trump derangement, super far crazy wacko leftist as he seems on his Twitter account, but make no mistake, they definitely are, and they definitely are left wing. One moment. Had a little cough. So I'm going to be kind of skimming the document here, and the only place I could find this document was in a video posted by Ariadna Jacob on her Twitter account. Hang on. Singlet 86 has yet another good point about the last. The physician's desk reference, aka PDR, has images of most pills. You can find the digital version online, also handy for side effects. Hell yeah. I might have to download that if I get any more prescriptions. Just to make sure, because yeah, that shit's scary. It's scary to know that shit can happen. Okay, so yeah, I couldn't find this document anywhere but in a video posted to Ariadna Jacobs' Twitter account. And so this kind of provides the details of this lawsuit from Larry Sinclair and Brian and Ed Krasenstein. And let me share this tab instead. So this is a video. I'm going to go full screen on the video. Well, I thought I had it on full screen. There we go. Let me know if you can't see that. Let me see if I can. Nope. Scrolling doesn't help. I can't make it any bigger, but I'm going to try to read the important parts. Parties. 1, plaintiff Larry. Now, if you don't know who Larry Sinclair is, we covered him a few weeks ago on this show. He had made some accusations back in 2009? 2007, that Barack Obama had come into his limousine and the two of them did drugs together, cocaine and then oral sex. So yeah, he was recently on Tucker Carlson, and that's going to be in this document here. So parties. Plaintiff Lawrence Larry Sinclair is a citizen of Texas. Defendant Brian Mark Krasenstein is a citizen of Florida. Defendant Edward Lawrence Krasenstein is a citizen of Florida. Defendant E&B Advertising Incorporated is a Florida corporation with its principal place in business in Fort Myers, Florida. Forum Advertising LLC is a Florida LLC with its principal place of business in Fort Myers, Florida. Subject matter jurisdiction exists pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1332, 28 U.S.C. 1337, and 28 USC 1332A, subsection A, subsection 1, in that plaintiff and defendants are citizens of different states, and in the matter in dispute exceeds to some value of $75,000 exclusive of interest or costs. Personal jurisdiction over the defendants is proper in this district. Defendants have continuous, systematic contacts with the Southern District of Texas and have been and are conducting and doing business within the district. Now, this next part I'm going to kind of skim here. Plaintiff is a private citizen of the state of Texas and a disabled 62-year-old. Plaintiff did in 2008, okay, so 2008, make allegations in the U.S. presidential election regarding then candidate Barack Obama, which resulted in a massive amount of false and libelous claims and statements to be published online by individuals as well as some media outlets directed toward discrediting plaintiff's statements. The plaintiff has over the past 15 years privately secured multiple FOIA requests, documents, and investigations documenting the falsifications of official government records as well as continuous harassment. And okay, plaintiff was contacted in July 2023 by a representative for Tucker Carlson. Okay, so then he did the video. Plaintiff had already known false and libelous claims and statements previously published had been shown to be untrue since 2012 and had been prepared to address any renewed publication of libel by simply contacting those publishing and asking them to retract. Admit they published information they took from a Google search without verifying its truthfulness and apologize for doing so. The plaintiff provided documentation demonstrating the proof versus the libel. On August 30th, Tucker Carlson appeared in an online podcast of Adam Carolla where Carlson discusses media and press dependence on government and how it affects how media reports stories. 16. In the appearance on Adam Carolla's podcast, Carlson referenced how the media reacted to the plaintiff in 2008 and mentioned specifically how one reporter published material and claims about the plaintiff solely to try and discredit plaintiff. Carlson stated he had interviewed the plaintiff. Cheers to Marcus over on Rumble. Cheers. Welcome, brother. As expected by plaintiff Carlson's August 2023 statements and online podcast began to open the dam of republication of libelous claims and statements by both legacy media outlets like Daily Mail UK, as well as individuals claiming to be journalists using social media platforms such as X, Twitter, Substack, YouTube, et al., where they generate income via subscriptions, advertising, sharing, and direct tips donation from followers and subscribers. Tucker Carlson released a 1-minute, 4-second promotional clip on September 5th. Upon release of that promo clip, defendants Brian Krasenstein and Edward Krasenstein began publishing on X in response to said clip libelous false claims and statements about plaintiff, which they obtained simply by Googling plaintiff's name. On September 6, 2023, Tucker Carlson aired the entire video interview with the plaintiff on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The defendants, upon airing September 6th, a full interview, began publishing more false libel claims and statements about plaintiff. Plaintiff immediately responded to both defendants, informing them of their posts were libelous, false, and that their republishing someone else's libel did not make them immune from legal action. Plaintiff specifically requested both plaintiffs retract the published statements, admitted they published other people's libel without first verifying its truthfulness, and apologized. Okay, now I'm going to pause right there. So one of the elements of defamation is that if it's on a public figure, you have to have some reckless disregard from the truth, or of the truth. Reckless disregard of the truth, which means you should have been able to determine whether or not it was false, and you just chose not to. And that's what a lot of these couple of paragraphs are getting into, is Sinclair's trying to establish that these have been rumors about me on the internet for years. And so the Krasensteins are going to be like, well, I was just reporting on something somebody else did, kind of like I do on my show all the time. I'm like, I say I'm not reporting any news story on my show. I'm not reporting them as fact. I am merely reading and reacting to other people's release of information. I want to make that totally clear. I'm not reporting anything as fact here. The Krasensteins, on the other hand, generally tweet things and be like, well, did you know this? Did you know that? And they post a lot of information. And so I don't think they have that excuse, because they do claim, like, I know what's going on. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. So relying on another source for the information, it doesn't. And again, he says he warned them. That doesn't relieve you of a libel claim. Take it down. And then instead of taking it down, they doubled down. And he again said, relying on this information, it's false and it's libelous. And just because someone else posted it doesn't free you from suit. And so now he's suing them. Both defendants refused and even tried to use their publication of libel to pressure plaintiff into appearing on their online X programs so they could profit from the trending interest in the interview by the benefit of the number of listeners they could draw. The plaintiff gave defendants multiple opportunities to retract their repeated libel and false claims and apologize and resolve the issue without having to engage in litigation. Defendant Edward Krasenstein chose simply to ignore the plaintiff's repeated requests and offers, while defendant Brian Krasenstein chose to inform the plaintiff on September 18th, 2023 via direct message on X at 5:12 a.m. Even better, come on my show and we can discuss. I posted what was in the public realm for 15 years, which you made no effort to have removed in the past, as far as I'm aware, but I'll be happy to take a look and remove anything I find to be inaccurate. Despite defendant Brian Krasenstein's message on September 18th, 2023, defendant had already been provided documentation of his published claims were false, and he bothered to research, he would have found they had been proven false for more than 10 years before he published them. On September 25th at 6:29 p.m., defendant Brian Krasenstein published in a comment to plaintiff on X the following statement. You can just fast forward your timer. I'm not giving in to your attempt to get $750,000 from me for posting material that has been online about you since 2008. I would love for you to stop defaming me, though, and doxing my private information. I will actually contact a real attorney if it continues and not just try to extort money off of you via email. Nice try, though. So Krasenstein threatened Sinclair with a defamation lawsuit. Fun times. Defendant Edward Krasenstein has been exposed via an undercover video recording of him admitting that defendant and defendant Brian Krasenstein are paid to, quote, sow division as part of, quote, the resistance and use their X presence and their businesses, which are listed herein, E&B Advertising and Forum Advertising, to publish and distribute content based on its clients' requests in directing political or social narratives. Come on, scroll. This is a video, so they're scrolling, not me. Defendants Brian Krasenstein, Edward Krasenstein, EB Advertising, and Forum Advertising repeatedly published false, unknowingly true claims and statements representative of facts and proving facts, alleging that the plaintiff, A, has a 27-year criminal history, B, has a history of convictions for fraud, C, failed 2 polygraph tests, D, has a history of making false statements, and E, has a 27-year proven history of deception. Count. Libel per se. The foregoing allegations of the complaint are incorporated herein by reference. In or about September 2023, the defendants published the libelous defamatory statements on X. The libelous defamatory statements referred to plaintiff by name or were published where they were clearly, directly referring to plaintiff, were made of and concerning him, and were so understood by those reading the libelous defamatory statements. The libelous defamatory statements are false and misleading as they refer to plaintiff Sinclair. The libelous defamatory statements were made and published by defendants with knowledge of their falsity and with reckless disregard and total disregard for their truth. Wow, total disregard. Total disregard. Wow. Given the readily available documented truth, the defendant's libelous defamatory statements were so excessive, intemperate, unreasonable, and abusive as to preclude any conclusion other than the defendants were actuated by actual malice. The defamatory statements are libelous on their face and that they expose Sinclair to hatred, contempt, ridicule, obliquity, because they published states that inter alia Sinclair has a 27-year history of conviction for fraud, 27-year history of deception, proven failed 2 polygraph tests, etc. Wow, I just can't talk today. The defamatory libelous statements have been made in a specific form and are available to be read, seen, shared, and redistributed by the public, including without limitation citizens of the Southern District of Texas. The defamatory libelous statements were not privileged and were published by the defendants with malice, hatred, contempt, and ill will toward Sinclair, with the desire to cause him economic, emotional, physical injury, including the loss of financial support toward needed medical treatment. As a direct and proximate result of the foregoing, Sinclair has suffered loss of reputation, extreme emotional duress, shame, interference with obtaining necessary medical treatment, physical injury, obliquity, and loss of opportunities in an amount proven at trial in excess of $15 million. Because, whoa, I went a little too far. Because of defendant's intentional malice in publishing the defamatory and libelous statements, Sinclair is entitled to an award punitive and exemplary damage. Count 2, false light invasion and misappropriation of privacy. The foregoing allegations of the complaint are incorporated herein by reference. The published defamatory libelous statements concerning Sinclair place him in a false light, which would be highly offensive to a reasonable person. Defendants had knowledge and acted in total reckless disregard for the falsity of their defamatory libelous statements and in the false light which Sinclair would be placed in. Defendants have misappropriated Sinclair's right to privacy. As a direct and proximate result of the foregoing, Sinclair has suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial in excess of $15 million. Because of defendants' intentional malice in publishing the defamatory and libelous statements, Sinclair is entitled to an award punitive and exemplary damages. Count 3, tortious interference. The foregoing allegations of the complaint are incorporated herein by reference. At all relevant times, Sinclair had an active GoFundMe fundraising campaign in effect, which established in July 2023 for the purpose of raising funds to pay for needed medical treatment, specifically surgery on his hands and arms due to years of nerve and disc damage to prevent Sinclair total loss of use of both hands and arms. Defendants had knowledge of such relationship, campaign, or expectancy. Defendants intentionally interfered with said relationship by publishing of their defamatory and libelous statements. As a direct and proximate result of the foregoing, Sinclair has suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial in excess of $15 million. Further, defendants' tortious interference was with intent to injure and harm Sinclair as to constitute opposition, fraud, and malice, justifying an award of exemplary and punitive damages in an amount to be determined at the trial. The foregoing allegations of the complaint are incorporated herein by reference. This is civil conspiracy. Defendants have combined and conspired for an unlawful purpose, i.e. defamation, libel, and tortious interference, with an intent to injure plaintiff. Defendants have done one or more overt acts in furtherance of their conspiracy. As a direct and proximate result of the civil conspiracy, plaintiff has been injured by the defendants in an amount to be proven at trial in excess of $15 million. Wherefore, the plaintiff requests this court to enter judgment in his favor against defendants, awarding the plaintiff the following relief: compensatory and consequential damages from the defendants in an amount to be proven at trial in excess of $15 million. Punitive and exemplary damages from defendants in an amount of $30 million or the maximum amount allowed by law. An accounting and construction trust as to defendants' proceeds from the defamatory libelous publications. Fees and expenses allowed by law, costs, and such other relief as the court deems just and proper. Plaintiff hereby demands a trial by jury in the issues. Trial by jury in the issues. Okay, I screwed up by going to the end of the video and then it looped. Anyway, and one thing I do want to mention. Screw it. One thing I do want to mention. Mr. Sinclair is representing himself in this. Larry Sinclair is representing himself. So he typed all this up himself. Now, normally you would say, well, that's a death sentence for any lawsuit. Like this is when you represent yourself, man, you're just asking to be yeeted on summary judgment or some kind of, it's in Texas, so you have the whole anti-slap, right? So, it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle to try to bring this case by yourself in Florida. However, Larry Sinclair has won before without an attorney. He's lost with attorneys and then turned right around, taken on his own case, and won. So don't count Larry Sinclair out here. I mean, it's an uphill battle. He's got the weight of the world against him, but you can't count him out. You can't count him out. I'm sure Barack Obama and his entourage of handlers would like to see Larry Sinclair disappeared into the ether. They want to just make him go away. And now I bet the Krasensteins would like to see that as well. But as of right now, he's got a case. He's got a case. And he deserves the time in a courtroom to have that case heard and tried and have the merits of the things he's saying weighed against the things that people are saying about him. And have a jury decide what the truth is. Wow. So we're ticking down to the last 10 minutes of the show. I don't really have any other news stories to cover. So let me do this. Let me get on YouTube. Let's do one thing I haven't done on this show in a while is do a round of the YouTube shorts. I used to do this on this program. Whenever I had a few minutes left at the end of the show, I would go to YouTube shorts and just kind of react to whatever's going on here. So let's do that. So let's see what this guy says. Degenerate gambling tip.
Let's say you have a ticket for $55 that used to look like $1,000. You're too depressed to walk all the way to the cage. You come, you find a maxed out major, You put $55 in the Dragon Cash. You pick some ridiculous denomination like $10 with a $2,500 mini and a 12.5 minor. You got $55. Then you bet $100.
Okay.
It says you don't have enough. You choose the Dragon. You hope you get the lucky chance for $108,000.
Wait, what?
Winner. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What?
But now I don't have to walk to the cage. And we got rid of that $55.
Got rid of. He just lost 55 bucks. He called it a tip, but he just lost 55 bucks. Jesus. Jesus, talk about addicted. Holy crap, this dude's an addict. He's too lazy to walk to the cage for 50 bucks. For 50 bucks, it's like a less than a minute walk from anywhere in Vegas. Like, oh my God, walk to the freaking cage. 55 bucks. That's less than 2 minutes. What the hell? How addicted to gambling do you have to be to not want to get off your ass for 55 bucks? Either this dude's like, this dude is not only lazy as fuck, but he's also big timing us being like, look, I'm so lazy, I could throw away $55 so I don't have to walk over there. Holy shit, dude. He's fucking big timing us.
This is Mickey, a high-stakes
here's
gambler
another.
who won
Why am I getting so much
$11.5
Vegas
million
content all of a
gambling
sudden?
one night in Las Vegas. And soon after,
I watched a few of the videos about the Las Vegas hacking, and now this is what I'm getting. I'm getting all this Vegas content. Crazy.
he was banned from nearly
Banned
every
from every
casino here
casino.
for making too much money. But if casinos let millions of people come to Vegas and lose all of their money, why won't they let you stay and win? When Mickey gambled here full-time before being banned, Vegas would treat him like a king, enticing him to stay here 24/7 in the hopes of him losing millions here at these tables. What would they do for you?
They gave me a 200-passenger jet for myself, and I can use it as often as I want.
Oh,
as many
shit.
places I want, go anywhere
Yeah,
I want.
fuck that.
All right, now look at this can. And now look at that can. Now look back at this can and see how easily it is to be serviced. And then look ahead at this can.
Okay, we got weird
Ask
trash
yourself,
removal videos going on.
should these people pay the same for trash service?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I'd leave those extra 4 bags there. Fuck it. Like, yeah, they should be charged the same as long as it fits in and on that thing. Because as long as the claw can pick it up. By the way, we got a comment from Sangling86 that I missed during that. That's an old woman wired into that slot machine level. I didn't remember. Let's see.
This
Let me see that
Degenerate
again.
gambling tip.
I want to
Let's
see
say
the
you have a
woman
ticket
now.
for $55 that used to look like $1,000. Here's too depressing.
Anyway, screw it.
This is
Screw it.
This is brand new, half made out of plastic, half
Wait,
made out
this
of
is a
glass, so
bong?
it doesn't shatter. Willing to make you a deal?
bong?
I want you to toss it on the ground. If it shatters, you can have anything you want for
What?
free. That's how confident
What?
we are with these. Like, give it like a 5-foot toss into the middle of the floor right there. Here you go.
Sure.
Absolutely. This is how we're gonna make the place pop.
And
Telling
you say,
I'll
I
pay
ain't
you right
paying for this, right? I'm not
Dude, you
paying
can
for
have
this.
anything for free if it breaks. It won't break.
Whoa,
That shattered, bro.
What was that?
Dude, I don't know. He threw it.
A whole bomb?
I tried to tell him not to.
He just told me to throw it, bro.
All I heard was glass shattering in the back, brother.
Come on, man. He just told me chuck them off 5 feet.
He took it from my hands.
This is another fucking.
I'll tell you what. I'll make a deal.
All right, let's see how much.
I hate prank videos so much. Anyway, $600 Coke.
My
machine.
$600 Coke vending machine.
Yeah, okay, fuck that.
What is that?
A light?
What is this?
Why is it not lighting up?
Because it's not on. It's usually rainbow.
Oh, so you are lesbian.
What
You know what's crazy?
the fuck?
That house that you're in, or at least the lights, I recognize from a video I saw today.
Uh-oh. OnlyFans.
What
OnlyFans.
was it?
It was a Google Google Jack Doherty. Is it Doherty or Darty? Google Jack Doherty, and are you in his house? Because it looks exactly like his fucking room. I can't lie.
Take me with you. I don't know who Jack Doherty is.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Doherty?
No, not
Is that how you
OnlyFans.
pronounce it?
They know her
Doherty?
dad.
I don't know. You tell me. You're in his house. I'm not.
It's not his house.
Uh-oh. Nope, it's a brother.
What is that?
A light?
Okay.
Someone got so angry watching my videos, they reported me to the Provincial Department of Health and they sent the health inspector to the restaurant. I came in for my shift one day and my coworkers told me that my video had brought the health inspector in. I had no idea what happened and I was just pretty worried. This happened a couple months ago at my last job. Someone from the US.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I was rejected from
Oh, here we
jury
go.
duty.
More
There was a
Neil
woman who
deGrasse
was-
Tyson. Oh, man. I love fucking roasting this motherfucker. Anyway.
robbed. She said he robbed her, the groceries, took it, and then ran off. The cops found the guy. He was not in possession of anything she said he took. They looked in the area if anything stashed in dumpsters or anything. They didn't find anything. The judge reads the particulars and goes, does anyone think they would not be able to convict based on the kind of information and evidence that's been presented? I said, yes, I'd have a problem if the only evidence available is eyewitness testimony, then everything I know tells me I should not trust it on the level where you end up putting someone in jail, if that's the only evidence you have. What the judge said next was, are there any other jurors who need more than one witness before they would be able to convict? And I said, should I jump in now and say, that's not what I said? What should I do? The person in front of me said, Your Honor, that's not what he said. And I resisted with all my might to say, Your Honor, you were eyewitness to what I said 20 seconds ago and got it wrong.
Yes.
I was
wow. Yeah, I mean, there we go. I mean, this is exactly why this whole situation, like with Trevor Bauer that I was talking about earlier, so many of these celebrities, and holy shit, this is going to be the last video we can do. Let me go ahead and remove this. This is why all of these Me Too allegations, you got to have something more than just your statement. Even your friend telling, that he was there, like what happened with Justice Kavanaugh. And, all of the people they went to school with saying, no, she wasn't at any of our parties. And then him keeping track, him keeping notes of where he was throughout his college time. Like, those are huge. That's physical, real evidence that she didn't have, that for many people proved him innocent. But of course, you're going to have your weirdo leftist cult members, your Trump derangement syndrome people, that just will never believe that. Anyway, so that's going to be the show for today. I would like to once again invite you to join me here in about 5-ish minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the most. I'm going to be trying to start the movie right at 7:15, so probably not 15 minutes, but try to catch me in about 5 or 10 minutes over on my Twitch channel. The link is down in the description. I'm going to go grab some food, use the restroom real quick, come back, post the link on Twitter, and then I'm going to start the stream. So if you want to meet me over on my Twitch channel, if you're a Amazon Prime subscriber, we can watch The Batman together. If you're not an Amazon Prime subscriber, or if you have the movie at home, or if you have The Batman 2022, The Batman with Robert Pattinson, if you have the movie at home, or you have it on HBO Max, or you have it on another service, feel free to watch it with us. I can give you a timestamp in the chat if you need it. Just ask for it. But if you're on Amazon Prime, it will automatically sync up your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account. Meet me over on Twitch here in about 5-10 minutes, and we will watch The Batman, and I will roast it, and we will have a good time, and I will catch you there. If I do not catch you there, down in the description are also links to my other video platforms and my other social media. So over on X, over on Facebook, you can follow me on those platforms, and I will let you know when I'm going to be streaming again. 6 p.m. Central, usually every Wednesday and Saturday right here on www.rumble.com/mild/live and over on YouTube at The Mild World and at The Mild World on X. You can always search for Mild's Culture Plate on any of those platforms and bring it up as well. So that's where we are. Marcus says, put it in the locals chat. I'll be there. I will be sure to post it one more time over on Nick Ricado's locals. I will post the link in there as well. And until then, be sure to like, subscribe, share this on other platforms. If you're on Rumble, don't subscribe, follow. I'm not asking for your money today. Please, there will be time for that in the future. I want to grow my channel first. So yeah, like, follow. If you're on YouTube, it's called subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Like I said, share this on other platforms and leave comments. If there's any news stories you would like me to cover in the future or any types of content you would like me to cover in the future, let me know down in the comments. I typically try to respond to every comment I get if I can. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I will catch you next time on Miles Culture Plate. Peace.